Bring them on camera. Okay, I think we figured it out.
Yes. Yay. Why? Hey!
I'm here.
It worked.
It worked.
Oh,
You know why it worked? Thank God for my very good friend, Chris, who notified me. I have to be on the same device you're on. So because you're on a phone, I have to be on a phone. And I was trying to do it for my laptop because I like a bigger image of myself.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, holding my phone up like this is super awkward, so
I can
everybody bear with me if it's a little shaky.
Yeah, I have it propped up, so I think we're good now. I just really can't, all right, I can't really see who's coming through. It's very hard with the comments on the phone, so we'll make it work.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Mercury retrograde. I see somebody's comment. I know we're in like Mars retrograde right now, I think, so.
I understand, and I get it. It's complicated, technology is rough, we have a lot going on.
Lots of stuff, but we're really excited that you guys are all here and are, you know, patient with us here as we figure this out. But
do you guys hear feedback? Or is it just me? Because I hear some feedback, but I want to make sure you guys aren't hearing that.
I hear a little bit of feedback, but I think it could be the phone. I don't know if you could fix it or not. And I know there's a lag with Facebook with comments, so when people are watching, there tends to be a lag, I think, so we may not see comments come through in real time.
Okay. Somebody else can hear it. I'm sorry, guys. We're going to do the best that we can, okay?
Yeah, we're going to try. Thank you for bearing with us. It's our first time doing this. We're excited about joining and being able to... Oh, Connie's getting an echo. Thank you, Connie. We love your honesty.
Yeah. So I'm really excited that you guys are here. And we're going to work through the static and work through the shaky phones. But I am really excited again. So Roy and I are going to just be introducing ourselves a little bit. Really, the whole, our goal of this live is to just let you guys know who we are, the services that we offer. We really are here to support each other and, yeah, just share the work that we're doing with you guys. So I kind of want to give you guys a little bit of a background too about how I got in this, because I know it's different for everybody, and you know, Roy then can share his experience as well. So first off, right off the bat, Roy and I met during a mentorship with Anthony Maraca, doing mediumship and psychic work and soul readings, which we'll talk a little bit about. So that was a year-long mentorship, but I've also studied with several other teachers doing mediumship and psychic work for the last, like, oh man, maybe like five years, kind of dabbling in it here and there. I cannot say that I always felt like I was a medium my whole life. It's something that's kind of opened up for me over the last couple of years. But I really have to credit a lot of my intuitive skills to Anthony, of course, he's a fantastic teacher, but also to my friend Christina, who was my very first teacher. So I have a little bit of a background in energy healing, like Reiki, but also shamanic work. And so it was really through that shamanic work that I opened up a lot of my intuitive abilities, right? So I say this because I think it's important for people to know that you, at any point in time in your life, can develop your intuition. And so that's really, I think, something that's been important for me to learn and that I really want to share with you guys. So, yeah, just a really quick little blurb about me there. But yeah, so now I launched my own business doing mediumship and psychic work. My primary focus is the soul readings. And I'll talk a little bit about that more in depth after I give Roy a chance to introduce himself.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. So, I mean, most of you probably know of me or know me already a little bit, but just a little bit of a background on myself as well, in case you don't know. I've always been able to see spirit since I was a very little child. And then I guess growing up and just going through life in general, you tend to block a lot of things out with everyday life, and things get a little bit complicated. So when that happens, I don't know, spirit feels like they don't want to get invested or they don't really want to bother you so much. So I feel like that kind of blocked out. And I lived my life and I went through, you know, the normal day-to-day teenager rigmarole, whatever what you want to call it, you know. Started working and then became a businessman. And I actually met Anthony Maraca at one of my jobs back in 2000 and I don't know, 4 or 5. At that point, you know, it was just like, again, working. And then I want to say maybe beginning of COVID, about a year ago, things started to happen, and then I started to feel things again, and there was an awakening, and I would like talk to a few friends, and they would get freaked out about it, and I kind of was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and they block it out again. And then in February, I spoke with Anthony, and Anthony has suggested that I start mentoring with a beginner mentor, which would be Holly Robinson, who's been amazing, and I love her to death. She's been so great. I'm sure you know Holly, right, Rachel?
Holly, yeah, yep, and she's on here, I think.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Giving her a shout out. You know, I love my Holly. And yeah, and that went really, really well. And I'm still working with her today. I actually worked with her today, a little bit earlier today. And then got invested with Anthony, did the intermediate, did the practice circle, and now doing his mentorship as well. And just constantly learning and evolving, which I feel like is super important, which is something that you do. And I think a lot of our peers do as well. You can never stop learning, and you always need to keep growing.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I'm sure a lot of our peers here who are watching, but also for people who don't fully understand the ins and outs of mediumship and psychic work, it is totally something, it's a skill that is always evolving.
Right.
You know, so, I'm so sorry for this feedback, you guys. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you fine.
Okay. It is a skill that's constantly evolving, and it's different for everybody. So that's why I'm really excited about working with Roy here to kind of introduce ourselves, because everyone has a different style. Everybody, you know, picks up information differently because Spirit uses our frame of reference to get messages across. So, you know, just like in our normal day-to-day lives, we have different areas of expertise, different areas that we're more knowledgeable in. And so it works the same kind of with mediumship and psychic. So I just kind of like to let people know that too, because it kind of comes down to finding like the right fit for you as well, right? So medium, psychic, everyone has their own style. Everybody, you know, you might click better with a different medium or psychic than somebody else, you know. So I just like to say that because sometimes people, you know, have had experiences. Maybe you can attest to this, Roy. Like I know for me, I've gone to mediums before, and every experience is different. So I guess I'm just going to say that before I keep rambling on about it. But
yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think every experience is different. I think everyone reads into things differently and handles things differently. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses logically when we read into this. We all learn from each other as well, which I think is really, really great.
oh no.
Okay. I think we lost you for a minute there.
Okay. Well, I just read a comment. Okay, the feedback's gone. Rachel, I think you solved it.
Oh, good.
Sorry. Oh my God. Okay, great.
Great. And
that was so distracting. So
and I lost my train of thought now. So I forgot what I was saying.
Sorry. Every medium picks things up differently.
Right, yeah. So, and I think that's what's really unique. So, like, when you go to different psychic mediums and intuitives for different things, you're always going to get something new and, like, innovative, because I think everyone does their work differently, which is kind of the fun part about it as well.
Yeah, and so with that, I really kind of want to preface this too. This just popped up into my head. I'm not sure if anyone has ever said to you that they're skeptical when people have to go and train and take classes to be a medium or to be a psychic. Have you ever heard that? I know some people are like, oh, well, you know, if you're born that way, you should just know how to do it. Right. And then so people are like, why are you taking classes? But because it is about learning the skills, right? And we don't have to go into like super depth about it, but it's about like honing your craft and taking the classes to refine your ability to interpret, because that's what mediumship and psychic work is. It's just about really getting to know the symbols and the feelings and how spirit communicates with you uniquely, right? So
I agree. Yeah, I think that's interesting. And it's funny because I was having a conversation with Anthony yesterday about this, and I was telling him, I don't really get like many symbols, or I don't get a tap on the shoulder. Do you know what I mean? for me, it's more of a knowing of what's actually occurring. And he says that every psychic medium works differently. We all have a unique way of getting the information from spirit. So don't try to be or mold yourself like somebody else. Do what spirit's presenting to you.
Yeah. So, I think that's a good area to go into. Can you explain how you specifically pick up information when you're connecting with spirit?
Right.
How do you do that?
Yeah. So for me, I like to set the intention before I do a reading with somebody. I like to just make sure that I have a clear mind and a clear head, and I feel very centered. And then at that point, for me, I just feel into who's around me and whoever has the strongest energy. And then I just start to pick up the information. For me, it's more of a knowing. So I just feel like I know this information is just correct. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I really can't hear things. I can see sometimes symbols, depending how strong the energy is, or I can see some imagery, but it's more for me just of a knowing. That's how I work.
Yeah.
And how about you?
Yeah, so it's funny because it's really evolved for me over the last couple of years. When I first started, I saw everything clairvoyantly. So, for people who might not know what clairvoyance is, it's really like just seeing those images, right? So we can see them as symbols, and it's in your mind's eye. So it's the way that I kind of explain it, it's almost as if you're daydreaming, right? So if I were to say to you right now, think about your best friend. You can picture them in your mind, right? And so that's kind of how it would come to me clairvoyantly. And over time, it's really evolved to just more of a knowing, where, I'll just kind of have like an idea. It feels like it just like drops in to my mind, and that's how I get it. Yeah. But also feelings for sure. I am big on emotions. I pick up a lot of emotion. But then you can kind of weave a story with that, right?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And for me, like the way that I kind of feel like I know I'm on the right path, and when I'm doing a lot of readings, I'll even say it out loud, actually, is when I get like the goosebumps or the shivers.
Yes.
And I just feel that validation come over my body, just really knowing that spirit's acknowledging the fact that what we're providing them is actually what we're getting. And that's always such a nice way of getting some really good acknowledgement.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like that's really a strong situation. I don't know if anyone has any questions while we're actually talking that they might want to ask us about, individual or anything in general.
Any
I figured
questions?
I'd throw it out there. I know there's a lag, so.
Yeah, well, and I know we have a blend of, we have some people we've worked with, like psychically, or people who are also psychics and mediums, and we have some people on here who aren't. So I
can't
like
see who's on, so you can, but I can't see who's on as a guest.
Yeah, I know we've got quite a blend. So like you said, Roy, there is a little bit of a lag, but if anybody wants to shoot a question, it doesn't have to be a psychic one right away. It can be anything you want us to elaborate on regarding this work that we do, just so we're not blabbing away about stuff you don't want to hear about.
we don't want to bore anybody about all of our minor details. But how has it been going for you, Rachel, in the meantime, while we're getting questions regarding, your business, and I know you're trying to get yourself up and running?
Yep, it's been great, actually. So really, I do the mediumship, of course, and I do the psychic, but my primary focus is the soul reading. So my primary focus is the soul reading, which is, I kind of like to think about it like a really condensed therapy session. I know it sounds.
We have a question, Rachel. Just hold on 1 second. Yeah, we have actually questions coming in, so I don't want to interrupt you.
You're fine. No.
I see Lauren, but I'm getting cut out here. I don't know. Lauren has a question. Can you say it? This is probably a dumb question.
Do you just ask questions when you see one on things you want to know? Oh, yeah. Okay. So, let's explain this a little bit. So, when you go to a psychic, I'm going to explain the difference between a psychic and a medium, because I think some people don't know, right? And that's totally fine. So when you go to a psychic, and Roy, you can jump in at any time here, but a psychic really focuses on the intuition. So they might do a lot of like predictive stuff to come in the future. But when you go to a medium is communicating with your loved ones on the other side. So, your loved ones who have crossed over. But when you go to see a psychic, you can ask any kind of question that you want. So the only thing, and this is, every psychic works differently. But there are some questions that as a psychic, I wouldn't answer. And most of the time I won't pick it up because I set the intention it's for the highest good. So I'm not a medical professional, so I'm not going to diagnose you with anything. I'm not going to tell you, you know, things like that. Because also psychic work, it can change based on the choices that you make, based on your free will.
Yeah.
So, you know, I definitely wouldn't say anything about like anything that would be, oh, help me out here, Roy.
I think it's like anything where they would need to get advice from a medical professional, legal, counseling, or possibly someone that would be like a doctor or a therapist.
Yeah.
We want to try to stay away from those type of questions and just really refer them to somebody that would be, you know, knowledgeable in that specific field.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Or like, I'm not going to tell you maybe about how you're going to pass away. People want to know that kind of stuff. And I don't feel like that's my place to say that because why instill fear? You know what I mean?
That's correct.
So I don't say that. But a lot of people who go for a psychic reading will ask like, you know, things about relationships, career, you know, their current life path, things that are to come in that way. Right. But then for mediums, again, that's communicating with your loved one on the other side. And so you can definitely ask questions of your loved ones on the other side. But the way that I kind of work with that is I open it up to the spirit, because that spirit person wants to convey a message to you, you know, a very particular message to you. They always come through for a reason. So I kind of just leave that up to spirit, and I let them kind of lead the reading.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, because with medium, I really do feel like we should be providing as much information for validation as possible. I personally don't like much feedback until I just like the yeses or the nos. You know what I mean?
For sure.
For that validation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially with medium, you know. And then for psychic readings, I work with, you know, what area do you want to concentrate on? And then I try to feel specifically into that area. So that's kind of how that works. I think there was a question after this for you from Pearl. Yeah, our good friend Pearl. She's obsessed with soul readings.
Yes. Okay. So this is a great question. So now I know that I was kind of explaining it as a condensed therapy session. So I do want to preface this because I am not, like, if you come to me for a soul reading, I'm not your therapist, right? I do have a background in mental health counseling. So spirit uses my frame of reference for that to help. Okay. Let me start over here. This can get really complicated, so I'm going to try to explain it the best that I can. So if you come to me for a soul reading, what I'm doing is tapping into your energy at a very deep level and looking at, so I work with the chakra system. So what I will do is I connect with you, and spirit will show me a chakra or several chakras that I need to go to. And so I then have an understanding about what each chakra is responsible for in the terms of like management of your energetic body. And so then I'm picking up areas that you might have like an energy block or an area that you need to work on. And so when I speak in terms of an energy block, it's like maybe trapped emotions, or you have something going on within your energy field that maybe you're holding on to. It can be emotions, it can be any, like, lots of different things from this lifetime that may be impacting your ability to move forward. Or, you know, it can be like unconscious beliefs that you hold about yourself or about other people in the world, right? So anything that's affecting your life can come up. So I guess just the easy way to explain it is I work with the chakra system, and I look for energy blockages, and then I go into that, and then we can look at like what caused the blockage, how can you move forward from the blockage, things like that. Does that kind of explain it, Pearl? I hope. It was a really, really quick. I could talk about it forever, but I'm not gonna.
Soul readings are fun. Yeah, I did a little bit of that today too, so that was kind of fun and interesting as well.
Oh yeah.
I think Connie has a question. She's asking, what do you feel was your best reading ever?
A great question.
I know it's so difficult for me because I feel like each one is so unique and so individual, to be honest with you. And without giving too much information away on if someone might be watching it, I just feel that if I'm able to have an individual really feel the emotion and cry because of the healing that they're getting, to me, that is just an ultimate really great reading, because you know that you're touching that spot where that person's really getting some internal healing. So
That's great.
I don't know, I think they're all special to me, to be honest with you, because each one is so unique and so different.
And you learn something from every single one.
You always learn, you're always evolving. Yeah. So that's a really tough question, you know what I mean, without giving really specific details about what the reading might be about. How about you, Rachel?
Right. Yeah, let me think here. Yeah, man, that is tough. I really think it is, like you just said, when you know that you have helped somebody heal, and I think specifically with mediumship, when you can be like the voice of spirit and show them, like, without doubt, your loved one is very much still with you, just in another way.
Yeah.
You know, when you can really give those pieces of evidence that they know, you know, without a shadow of a doubt, that there's no way that we could make that up. There's no way that we could have looked it up beforehand. You know, I just can't think of anything specific right now.
And I understand it's tough, because I feel like also, I personally like to keep each reading somewhat private to myself too, because I think that's what we need to do. You know what I mean, in this profession. So for me, it's just more about the emotion. I think each one is very special and very specific. So
I do see another question here. So can you pick up on the questions that verbally we are too afraid to ask? You know, I do think in a sense we can, but I also do think, and this is something that I practice, where I won't tap into your energy, of course, unless you give me permission to. But so with that in mind, if you have something that you're kind of afraid to ask and you might be guarded about it, it might be difficult for me to pick it up, because without you really being aware of it, you're like energetically creating a boundary.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so there are certain things that like that I won't go into unless I have your permission, or unless it feels like you want me to. Do you know what I mean?
And I'd like to just add, if you're done with that specific question, Rachel, is that I feel that a lot of times, if they're afraid to ask the question, Spirit will provide us the answer to the question without them even having to ask the question sometimes as well. Because a lot of times I feel like I answer questions, you're like, oh, you've answered my questions already, or that was a question that I had. So I feel like Spirit automatically knows already, like, what that question might be, like, precognitively. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Right. Well, and it's kind of interesting too, because Spirit, kind of like you just said, has a way of answering your questions without coming right out. So it might be something that, like, you have an epiphany about later on, or you know what I mean? Where all of a sudden you're like, something clicks for you and you're like, oh my gosh. And that's the other thing that I want to say too about psychic readings or mediumship readings. It's always important to keep an open mind, because for some reason, when you're in the moment, it can be really hard to like put pieces together, and then you'll leave the reading and you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I totally get that. You know what I mean?
I get it totally. Yeah, I agree. I think that's like, key factor there. Okay, let's see what we have here. Pearl. Okay. Roy, how do you start a psychic session? For me, what I like to do is, like, initially when I get on, now with everything being through Zoom with COVID and whatnot, I like to just communicate with the individual a little bit first, kind of see what area they're looking to focus on, set the intention, and then at that point, ask them if they will allow me to blend with them, and I give them the whole entire, information about they have the ability to change the outcome at any point based on their own free will or what they might change, because like I said, we can provide a reading for someone, tonight, but something can happen after the reading that could change the outcome of that logically, because, it's after the fact of the reading. So for me, it's about blending with the energy, and I get a lot of my information psychically, believe it or not. I think it's really from a lot of my guides around me. They communicate a lot of the energy to me, and again, the way that I work mediumistically is how I work psychically. It is just a knowing. I did a really great a psychic reading yesterday, and it was just, the information just came flowing through, and it was just constant yes validation. So again, it's just really blending properly with that sitter, I think. I was nervous to do psychic readings in the beginning, but I'm really enjoying them, and I'm getting a lot more people coming for psychic now than medium, which is kind of funny. It's like flip-flopping back and forth. It's like spirits
Yeah.
playing games with me here. Ping pong. It's ping
You know,
pong the reading.
Yeah, I was going to ask you too, how do you handle when you're doing a reading and maybe somebody can't take the information? Like, how would you explain that maybe to them if they keep saying, no, that doesn't make sense?
So what I like to tell them is I either tell them, let's table it and we'll get back to it in a little bit and we'll revisit it, or let's, you know, put it up on a post-it and we'll get back to it, or I'll let them just, you know, say at the end of the reading, see if something comes to you. If it comes to you, email me. I mean, it actually happened to me last week. I was doing a reading and they couldn't understand something about height and height with the spirit that was coming through. And I got literally an email the night later confirming, I understand now where you were coming with this, after going back and talking with somebody else and looking at the information. So I feel like a lot of time we're giving so much information and the sitter is trying to process it in their brain. When we give them some other information, they really, really don't know. Or they might be confused, or they might be a little scrambled because of what we're providing them. And they're trying to validate so much. And it actually happened yesterday as well with initials. I mean, it's a funny story, but it happened yesterday with initials. I provided 2 initials that really pertain to the sitter very closely. And, you know, they weren't able to validate it right away, but they validated it the day after. So I just feel like letting them sit with the information is what really helps them get to where they need to be. And I think examples help people understand that.
Absolutely. I think that's a great answer. You know, and I think another thing that's important for people coming to somebody for a reading is that spirit communicates with us. It's not like us having a conversation like this, right? So like we were talking about before, they can give us symbols, they can give us feelings. Mm-hmm. And so I think of us as like a translator. We're that like middleman where we have to figure out, you know, what that spirit person is saying.
I agree.
And then give the information to the best of our ability.
Yeah,
you know
I agree with you 100%. I want to see what's going on here. Oh, Deb, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It was so much fun solving that for you. I love solving a good mystery. I love solving a good mystery.
Sorry. Holding my phone is so awkward. I keep like bringing it really close to my face.
It's okay. I'm reading some of the comments. Okay.
Okay. I gotta plug my phone in because I wasn't.
Thank you, Roy. Okay. Does anyone else have any other questions before? I mean, I don't know, Rachel. How do you feel about maybe doing the first 1 or 2 people with a little psychic question for fun? For fun.
Sure.
We'll play.
Let's do it.
We'll play around.
Yeah.
So the first 2 people that might have a psychic question, you know, try to keep it a little bit basic. We don't want to air out all of your laundry logically on a live. So if anyone, if anyone has anything, we'll try to answer it and see what comes through.
Yeah, if you do. Just waiting.
I know, I love it. I love it. But there is a lag, which is fine. I mean, this is a lot of fun, though. I'm really enjoying this.
Oh, yeah. Super fun. I don't even know what time it is. 7:36. Yeah.
It's so cool. And then talk about, I guess, while we wait for some questions, you want to talk about the little, what did we do? We did like a little giveaway thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
So, okay. So we posted something right before we started the live that if you share it after the live is over, if you share it, and you tag 2 friends, then DM Roy and I, or you can DM one of us and let us know that you did that. And we're going to give a free 20-minute reading to the first person. So he and I will each do 1. So it's the first person
to share for each of us.
Contacts him, the first person that contacts me.
Yeah.
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 So.
Yeah. That way we both get a chance. We both get to give someone a little bit of something back.
Sure.
Will I be able to do what you are doing right now someday? Oh, Deb is asking if she feels like she'll be able to do what we're doing right now. Okay. All right. Do you want to take that one, Rachel, or do you want me to take it?
Whatever you want. You pick. I know I see Pearl just
all right.
did one too. So.
I'll take Deb.
Okay.
Let me just see for a minute. So, Deb, I do feel like you will be able to do this someday. I think that what and again, I'm sorry for not looking. When I read, I don't look because I'm focusing. I think what needs to happen, though, is I think you have to get out of your way a little bit. So I think that there might be some insecurity there for you. So, and a little bit of the confidence. So I know you're doing all you need to do to get to where you want to be, and you're taking all of the right steps and all of the right knowledge to get there. And I've worked with you, so I know that you have great success in your readings. So I just think it's more of you internally feeling you can do this and knowing that you can do this. So it's like kind of getting out of your own way is what I kind of feel. Um, that's what I'm pretty much getting. So can you do this? Yes, I feel anyone can do this. I just feel that you just need to get out of your own way to be able to do that, and just know that in your own self-care that it'll get accomplished. I don't know if there's anything you want to add, Rachel, to that, but that's kind of like what I'm feeling.
Yeah, and it's not psychic, it's just from my own experience because like I said, my whole life, I mean, I was always like a sensitive kid, but if you would have told me 10 years ago that I'd be I'd have my own little business doing like
Live.
psychic mediumship and soul readings, I would have like just said you were insane.
Yeah.
But what I had to do is I had to do a lot of my own self-development aside from the psychic mediumship, just my own like healing work, right? And by doing that, I just opened myself up, but I had a lot of things in the way, you know what I mean? And so like self-doubt, things like that. But any single person can do this if they have a desire and you know, and if they want to. It's just about yeah, getting out of your own way. Yeah, okay. So let me tap into Pearl's question.
Now we're getting like a flood of questions. Okay, you want to take Pearl? You want to take?
Yeah,
Pearl?
I'm going to take Pearl's. So give me a sec here while I tap into Pearl here. I do feel like it will be resolved, but I feel like it might be a little bit of time yet before it is. And for some reason, I do feel like there has to be some kind of, and I'm going to say this to you because I'm not sure. I hope it means something to you, like more distance between you and this neighbor, if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys need to take some time, or this person. Yeah, you guys need to take some time without like communicating, or there needs to be more distance between you, and not like physical space, right? Like not them moving, but just like interaction. That's just what it feels like, you know, like maybe they need some time to like cool down or something like that. I do feel like it will be resolved. But I almost feel too like there might be somebody else that has to come in and like mediate, if that makes sense to you. But I do feel like it will be resolved. So that's your ultimate question here.
I also do feel, just not to tap into too much, that someone needs to get involved additionally to be able to help resolve the situation. I don't think it's going to get resolved without getting somebody else involved. So you're right.
Right. Yeah, like a mediator. I don't know if that's the police or something,
right.
But it's almost like you guys need to stop interacting about it, right? So maybe that's what I was feeling, the space between you guys, no more interaction, but then that mediator can come in and kind of help you guys resolve that. Right. You'll have to keep us posted.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay. I am considering starting a marketing company of my own and quitting my job. What can you tell me about what's in store? Okay. Thanks. Let's see.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do feel that this is definitely something that you would be very successful at. I think that you have a lot of great qualities that you possess. I think you're coming into your own, and you finally found a niche that you feel really satisfies a lot in you. I do feel like you will eventually start on your own. I feel it will be slow and steady. I think you need your job in the meantime as well, just for some stability while you get off and running, because I think it will be a little bit of a slow start like anything else.
Yeah.
Right, Rachel?
I'm sorry.
I don't know if you're picking up on anything else, but let me just see, and then you can chime in. I think it will be successful. I think you have a good amount of people that will support you in this endeavor as well and will feed you things, so that will help you. I don't know about quitting the job just yet, though. I don't really see that happening anytime relatively soon.
Yeah.
Rachel, what are you picking up on that? Do you have anything you want to add?
Well, I do feel like I definitely feel like my words escape me when I start doing this, but being consistent and not being discouraged if the process is a little bit longer. But I do feel like keeping your job for a while. Like they keep bringing me to money, to making sure, because I feel like whatever you're going to be starting up might take a little bit extra, or might cost a little bit more, right? You might have to put more money or something into something to start it up. And so you definitely want to have that other job. I guess is what it feels like. I hope that makes sense. But
and I'm getting something with the resources. Like you want to make sure you have
that's what it is.
resources,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean, around you. So I just feel like you need to have the right resources to make sure that you're able to really pick up and move forward with this. And I don't know if that means maybe someone helping you or someone working with you on it, but I just feel like there's something there.
Well, and I do just feel like I want to say to, for some reason, to just keep going at it. Like I feel like it'll be a slower process. Like it might not be like gangbusters immediately. You know what I mean? Like, but to not get discouraged, to just like keep being consistent.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's definitely what they should be doing, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Amber, do you want to take this one? Should I change my career?
So I'm going to be completely honest, because these questions are sometimes difficult, because should you change your career? It's a loaded question.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there are positives and negatives about that. So let me see, and Royce, see if you can pick anything up about this too, like leaning a specific way. I feel like so what it feels like to me is, if, sorry, my throat is scratchy. It feels to me like if you do make a change, there's something like faster. I don't know if it's faster paced or something that's got more variety, like compared to where you're at now. So like when I tap into your question, I do feel like I see like something pick up for you. So I feel like if you were to change your career, it feels like it would be positive. I'm not really picking up much about what your career is now, but like, again, when I tap into your question, it feels like the energy is moving, it's free flowing, it feels light, it feels like it would be a positive decision for you, right? Like some positive things could come, but again, I'm not really picking up much about what your job is now. So can I say it would be better? Like you absolutely should, without a doubt. I think that if you did, good things, you know, could come in store for you. But for some reason, I do feel like that, like there is something else that you could be doing that you would feel less like restricted in, if that makes sense. I'm going to just throw that out there, because it feels like with the change, you would feel lighter about what you're doing, if that makes sense.
What I'm feeling, Rachel, is somewhat of a lack of fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if there's like a lack of fulfillment or enjoyment with the job, or just feeling a little lackluster. So it's like, if you change your career, I mean, I don't think you're miserable or completely unhappy here. I think that's a decision you have to make, but I feel that you're not feeling fully fulfilled. So, you know, that if you change your job, potentially, maybe there might be some more fulfillment for you in another area or improvement. You know what I mean? And if we're answering anyone's questions, I don't know if they're commenting with how we're doing or whatnot, but
well, and I do see there are a couple other questions, not psychic questions, that I think would be good to answer. We can jump back and forth here.
Yeah.
So, Aubrey, what are some resources or ways that you can tap into your psychic gifts and intuition? I personally have like a huge library of books that I just read. And you know what I'm going to do too? Because I've had, excuse me, I'm sorry, I've had several people actually ask me about resources. So I'm going to put together some titles and I'll post them on my page. But that really, I feel like, is the best way just to kind of start learning about your intuition, and specifically about the clairs, which is what they're called. So about the ways that you pick up information. And then you kind of figure out what your way is, right? So we talked about clairvoyance, which is seeing, claircognizance, which is just knowing. So yeah, I would say read, actually. That's like,
Amber says yes to both. I kind of went down to the bottom and work our way back up. So I just want to say Amber says yes to both about her job and what we just answered. So that's good to know. Thank you, Amber,
Great.
for validating. Hi, Michael. Thanks for watching. Happy you were able to join. Good evening. Thank you, Stouffer. Thank you, Pearl. And I think we have another question here.
Shannon. Yep. Okay. How do you know if you have intuition? So you do. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. Everybody does, right? So what it is, like you just said, it's that gut feeling. So your intuition boils down to is your ability to decipher and pay attention to when you're getting an intuitive hit, because you're doing it all day, every day, but most people just aren't aware of it. So when you start paying attention to those gut feelings, that's only going to increase your awareness of when you are getting an intuitive hit. So like what I like to tell people to do is to keep a little notebook. And, if you ever get a thought in your mind, just write it down, and then you can come back to it later and be like, oh yeah, that happened. Or, that gut feeling that I had was right. So it's just really about paying attention to those gut feelings. So then you can kind of see the pattern, right?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah, that
Cool.
makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Very, very cool. I don't know if we have any more.
Anybody else?
Anyone else have any psychic questions or questions in general or anything fun?
Anything at all? Mm-hmm.
I think we have about 10 more minutes before.
Okay.
I don't know how long.
We're at the hour mark.
I don't know how long these lives go, but I know on Instagram it goes like an hour. I don't know what Facebook Live.
I don't know. I'm a total rookie, so I have no idea. I think you could probably.
Total rookie, but having fun, having a lot of fun with it.
I think, if we ever do a live after this again, now we know.
Well, now we know.
Exactly.
Well, you know more than I do because you were able to set it all up. I just have to learn how to do that.
I better get my camera fixed on my laptop.
Yeah, right. I can't see who's actually on. Do you? We have a.
Okay.
Oop. How will things go with my father-in-law next week?
Ooh.
Okay.
Do you want to take this one? Do you want me to take it? We can both kind of.
Well, we can both feel into it and let's see what we pick up on. I hear a kitty cat.
Oh, do you? Yeah, that's my cat outside the door. Sorry, he wants to get in. Go ahead.
So I'm feeling some tension, personally. So I don't know if there's tension there. So I think I'm getting possibly a slow or slightly maybe bumpy start. But I think things will overall go well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm feeling. Logically, you have your free will, like we mentioned, so you can change that in any way or shape or direction. But I feel some tension there. So what do you feel, Rachel?
Well, and I got to be honest. So like when I tap into your question too, if I'm not picking up a lot of like specifics, I'm trying to go into it deeper to get specifics, and I'm not. And so I think that's a good. It's good to mention that sometimes there are things maybe that we're not supposed to know, but it does feel like positive. Like I see him, it feels like you said, if there's some tension, things will be resolved. Like, yeah, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not really picking up a ton of like specific information about it. And it might be a question I have to go into a little bit deeper later for you, maybe, Renee. I see that. But for right now, yeah, I'm just not getting a ton of specifics.
Okay.
And that happens sometimes.
It does happen. It does happen.
I don't know.
I mean, that's what I was picking up on. So.
And again, maybe it's something that we're not supposed to know. I don't know. Or
Yeah.
For whatever reason too. Sometimes there are things that we're not supposed to know because it would change a decision that you know what I mean? Change a decision that we're going to make or change something. And sometimes there are certain things that have to happen, as part of like your like a lesson you need to learn or anything like that.
And she said thank you. So she just thanked us. Now I think we have a question here from Shannon. will I ever have the opportunity to get back into Did I skip somebody? I skipped Rachel.
Oh, so.
I'm looking for balance in my life on how to prioritize my family more. Any idea how to do that? You want to take that one?
Sure. I think setting boundaries in other areas of your life is really important. You know, especially like with work, you know, work, other friends, things like that. Like what I like to do is have a designated family time. And really just setting boundaries in other areas of my life, you know, and not like they're non-negotiable, right? So like say every Friday you have, or, you know, maybe every day of the week you have something that you do as a family together, whether that's like family dinners, if your schedules permit, you know, you have to tailor it to your schedule and your family's needs, but like non-negotiable family time and boundaries with the other areas of your life, you know?
And I feel into her energy a little bit. What I'm feeling is like a juggling act. So I feel like there's just a lot on her plate. So it's really, again, hard to balance everything. So like you said, boundaries, but I also think prioritizing is going to be a key factor because the multitasking is getting, I guess, like a little bit out of control or scattered. So
yeah.
I think like kind of reining it in a little bit and like you said, prioritizing and putting those boundaries is what's really going to help to get you back into that family life that you want. Because there's like a disconnect there because of so much going on. And I think you're just taking on a lot.
Yeah. So it's like 7:55.
Okay, we'll do like
now.
we'll do like one more question. So I don't know how you want to do this. We have like a few questions that came through here.
Yeah.
So we'll do like maybe another, I don't know what you want to do, 5, 10 minutes. You want to do 2 or 3 more?
Sure. Yeah, we'll just take the ones that are here now. So we've got Shannon. Okay.
Yeah, we did
Shannon, Tanya. Okay, will I ever have the opportunity to get back into the management role with my current employer? You know, it feels to me like I feel like you could, but I got to be honest. It feels like I just feel like if you did, for some reason, I don't know if that's like the direction, like the best direction for you to go. And just because it feels to me like it's kind of, and maybe I'm interpreting this wrong, but it feels like there's a little bit of like a roadblock or like a dead end that way. Do you know what I'm saying, Roy? I see you shaking your head.
Yep, I
don't know.
agree with you. I do agree with you.
So maybe that means that's not. I don't know the word I'm trying to say. It's like
I'm getting hurdles.
Okay, thank you. Hurdles. It's like.
So I feel like you're going to have to, if you want to achieve this again, there's going to be hurdles or obstacles in your way that you're going to have to overachieve. I don't think it'll be an easy flow into it. So if you do get back into management again, it's going to be something where you're going to have to really work at it. And it might be challenging. And I feel like you might get frustrated because of things that might pop up in front or the hurdles or protocol going on. I'm just feeling like it's very... it's like a who you know type of thing now or something. I don't know, just a weird vibe.
Yeah. Well, and I, you know, use caution about how I say this, but it feels like there might be somebody that you work with that will make it difficult. And maybe that's a boss. I don't know. Somebody else that is interfering possibly or making it more difficult for you to get back into that.
That makes
sense.
Because
it just, it feels stressful to me though too. Like if you do get back there, it just feels like, and maybe that's something that you like too, like lots of responsibility, because that's kind of what it feels like to me. You know, it'll be like heavy. I don't know.
I'm feeling like anxiety about it, and stress about it.
Yeah.
Like the role. So yeah. So that's something you just have to think about, and you know, you have the ultimate will to change that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, our good friend Connie, how will my legal matter turn out? All right, let's see.
And this is a question too. I'm not really.
Yeah, because I hate to answer legal questions, to be honest with you. Because Connie, you should know this. I am not a lawyer.
Yuck.
I am not a lawyer, girlfriend. Let me, all I can say is that I think it will turn out fine, but I think that it will take some time. Oh, that rhymes.
I like it.
Look at that.
It's
I
too
think
funny.
it will work out fine, but it's going to take a little bit of time. That's what I feel. Do you feel anything generic? Because legal questions are so like, I don't know, I get nervous with legal questions, you know?
Like if it will work in your favor or not.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
what she
like
wants to know. She just wants to know, like, how will it work out? So I feel like it's going to be fine, but like there's
I feel like
some time there. What are you getting, Rachel?
that's what it feels like. I do feel like it will work out in your favor.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But that's all that I'm really getting for that one too.
Okay, let's see here. We have some thank yous. Rachel said, thank you. That is definitely true. So thank you, Rachel, for validating. Thank you, Amber, for validating.
Connie. Yeah.
Shannon is saying, okay, thank you. My intuition is telling me the same. Connie is laughing. Ha, ha, ha. I love you, Connie. Is there anything you want to say, Rachel? We're like a minute. We're there. We're at that 1 hour mark. Well, we started 10 minutes late because of our little hoopla situation, but
we did. Well, I'm just I'm excited that you guys all joined us and that you are still watching. If you're still watching, I know
yeah,
it's late. Well, I know we're all at different time zones too. It's like what, 9 o'clock by you?
Everyone, it's 9 o'clock by me. Yes, it is. I don't know who's watching. I can't see who's watching. I see 19 people, but I don't even know who's on.
I don't know, everybody. I haven't looked at the list, but I
Okay.
see, 18. So we're just excited. This is the first time we've ever done this. And it's definitely a learning opportunity and experience for us. And
can I just say one thing quickly, Rachel, before you continue, because I've been feeling this spirit come through. Actually, I just want to do something mediumistically quickly. Okay. And I don't know if someone can validate it. I don't want to take up more time, but I just want to let somebody know if they're out there. I don't know if they're watching, that I do feel an older man who I feel like would have been in their 80s or late 80s coming through in spirit. I feel like this man would have had a hard time breathing towards the end. So I feel like I'm seeing oxygen. I feel like this man would have spent a lot of time in this individual's home. And particularly, I don't know why, but I feel like the living room is like the safe haven for this individual. He is, and I feel like he has multiple roles. So I feel like he would have been a father, a grandfather, a great-grandfather.
Okay. So we do have somebody, Trisha. She said she thinks this is her grandfather.
Okay. I feel like he would have been, so I feel like he would have been bald towards the end. I also get fragile.
Ken can take it too.
Okay. He is, okay, so he is with his wife in spirit. He's showing
Amber
me.
said So you have three potential.
I love when that happens. Just love it.
So now now you got to narrow it down.
Now I gotta narrow it down. Thanks. I opened a can of worms. But it's been like coming through, so I just want to get it out. Okay. All right. He's providing me. For some reason, I'm smelling, and I don't really smell, but I'm feeling roses. So I don't know if his wife liked roses or there was something about roses. So I feel roses. I also feel like he would have been surrounded by a lot of family towards the end. So I'm seeing a lot of laughter, and I'm seeing a lot of younger children around him at times. So trying to lift up his spirit. and I feel like he would have had home care or self-care for a good portion of time, which I feel like would have been draining on the person that he would have been living with at times because
Okay.
it's rough.
Roy, I just want to say, Trisha said that her grandfather used to grow roses in his backyard.
Okay.
So you could.
So there we go.
Yeah.
So Trisha, can you also take the fact about being surrounded with younger children at some point with laughter? Amber says roses, yes, but his wife is still living. Okay, Amber, no. He is with his wife in spirit because I can feel them together. I'm getting an initial. I just want to see if I get an initial. I feel, and Roses has meaning to me, and his mom's name was Rose. Oh God.
So maybe try to get another piece of evidence.
I'm gonna try to get an initial. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the roses are coming through very significant with him.
Yeah.
I want to say, and I'm getting an initial like M, so I feel an M initial. Showing me an M. Why am I getting a B? I'm getting an M and a B. So I don't know if an M or a B can relate to anybody. Let me see if I get anything else. Okay, let me just see this. I'm getting an image. I feel like this individual would have wore, I feel like towards the end, t-shirts, and I'm seeing like plaid also. What is Anne saying? I understand it.
He understands, yeah.
That wouldn't be my grandfather. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm with Anne. And I think I'm feeling drawn to you, to be honest with you. So I feel t-shirts and plaid shirts.
Yeah,
So
her mom's name is M, she said.
Whose mom's name?
Anne's mom.
That's it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that, Anne. So there's the validation. Okay. So he is definitely with your mom in spirit. I can feel it. He is showing me roses, but it's coming through in two different ways. So I appreciate you validating that for me as well. Thank you. And I just want to say that I really feel like he's just acknowledging all of the, the love and the effort from everyone. I'm just getting an immense amount of love from him, and I think he's just acknowledging and reciprocating that back as a big thank you. And the time spent with him. So,
that's great.
Yeah, that's it. So I just wanted to do that quickly because I really felt his energy coming through since this morning. And I told you that, Rachel, when we spoke earlier before we did the live, I felt somebody, I didn't want to keep you longer, but I did want to provide that message because I thought it was important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and for those of you who had questions that maybe we couldn't pick up right now, I'll keep your names and I'll maybe tap back into your questions later.
Yeah, or they can also email us or message us directly with some questions. You know what I mean? And please take advantage, like Rachel had said earlier, we both posted on our pages. If you share and tag two people, the first person that does that and messages us directly, we'll give that first person a free 20-minute psychic reading or mediumship reading, whatever you feel is best. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this was fun. Thank you guys, everybody who watched, and we appreciate you guys and we appreciate your support, and we're not going away, so we got lots of stuff to offer. So
get used to our faces.
Yes.
Oh, you're welcome, Anne. Always a pleasure. Love you.
Yay.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Connie.
Yay. Cool. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
guys. All right, everyone. Have a good night.
Time for me to go to bed.
Bye.
All right. We'll see you guys. Bye.